What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another New World video. Today we're going to be talking about the Season Pass in New World Aeternum. I've seen a bunch of you guys on YouTube, on Twitch, asking, Baggins, is the Season Pass worth it? Should I buy the Premium Pass for the rewards down here? Is it worth the roughly $20? Of course, that's going to change depending on your currency, whereabouts you are in the world. And also, a lot of people asking how you level it up, and in particular, how does the activity card work? This is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to level up the Season Pass, but it can be a bit of a head scratcher for first-time players. So let's go through everything to do with New World Aeternum Season Pass. But first, a quick word from this video's sponsor. The Second Breakfast Club is all about bringing hobbity values home and celebrating the simple things. Why not wake up to one of our single roast coffees, sourced directly from fair trade cooperatives and expertly roasted, just for us, by our artisan partners in Norfolk? Maybe even end the day with our delicious all-butter shortbread, made to our very own Second Breakfast Club recipe, developed with and baked by an award-winning team in Yorkshire. They're the perfect pre-combat buff and open-world exploration snack. And for the fashionable, hairy-footed folk amongst you, check out our club member hoodies. Featuring our adventurer's cloak design, they're soft, breathable, and made from a blend of sustainable cottons and recycled polyester. The extra deep front pocket is perfect for hiding rings of power from your enemies. The Second Breakfast Club ships internationally, and visiting it is a great way to support the channel and keep the content coming. So I think the first thing we should talk about is the value of the Season Pass. Is it worth purchasing the premium track for all the rewards that you get at the bottom? And should you buy the level boost as well? For those of you not aware, the Season Pass unlocks from level 25 onwards, and I believe it gives you two options when it comes to picking it up. You can buy the basic version, which just unlocks the premium track, or you can buy the basic version plus, which I think gives you the first 20 levels included. Now, in my opinion, the most important things that you can get from the Season Pass are actually at the top track. So occasionally you're going to get these boxes over here, the basic expedition chest, and especially further on when you start getting the expedition chest that has dense materia. This stuff is very valuable because you can take it to the gypsum kiln, and then you can make 700 gear score items with it. It doesn't give you enough to just do it alone, but it is handy to kickstart your journey. Once you hit level 65, being able to go to the gypsum kiln and make some items, that is very, very useful. And I think if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments down below. We can make a separate video on what I believe is worth making in the gypsum kiln and just how it works in general. But that, I would say, is like one of the most valuable things over there. Also on the free track, we do have some artifacts as well. Now, if you don't complete the Season Pass in time, there is 39 days left at time of recording, you can still get these in the game, so it's not as if they permanently disappear. They usually just have them drop from open world bosses. Cowl of Power, I don't think is that good of an artifact. There are some really good armor artifacts in the game, especially for mages. The Azoth Conductors immediately strike me as a new must-have for mages. I think that's going to be really good. That comes from the raid. But nonetheless, it is a 700 gear score light helmet, which if you are brand new to level 65, you can just put it on because of the stats and the armor. And then if we keep going further down the line, we also have another artifact called Grace. Now this, I think, is actually pretty good, especially in PvP anyway, having an artifact greatsword. One of the interesting things about Grace is whenever you use a red ability, it gives you a movement speed boost. So you get this 6-second movement speed boost, and I think it stays when you switch weapon, which is going to be really good if you want to play like greatsword and hatchet, because you can pop the movement speed boost on the hatchet. In fact, let me just demonstrate it here. Let me go find a hatchet, we put this on, and then what we can do is pop Berserk on the hatchet after. So we do this, we get our movement speed boost, then we go to the hatchet, this gives us a movement speed boost, and we're just going to be zooming, you know, people are not going to be able to catch us. So I think there is some value in having the Artifact Greatsword just for movement speed in PvP. But again, we're getting kind of derailed here. What I just wanted to say is, like, I do think the most valuable items, the artifacts and some of the boxes that contain materia, those are on the free track. So that being said, there are still some very desirable items on the premium track. The things that I'm most excited for, I think that the highest sort of ticket items would be the weapon matrix, also getting a chromatic seal. You do occasionally get like piles of 3,000 gold as well. If I'm not mistaken, I did the maths just before. There's about 15,000 gold just on the premium track, which is pretty good. And then if we take a look at the price of a jewelry matrix or a weapon matrix on my server right now, we'll go do that. Yeah, as you can see, these things are very valuable right now. 13,750, like 14,000 gold with the tax just for the cheapest weapon matrix. I think the jewelry matrix is a little bit cheaper, but still, I added up all of the really sort of high ticket items. So your 2 chromatic seals, the weapon matrix, the jewelry matrix, and also another thing that's pretty valuable is you get these boxes that have prismatic ingots, prismatic leather, prismatic cloth, prismatic planks, and block. Each one of those is roughly about 2,400, 2,500 gold if I added up the materials from the trading post. and there's 4 of those, so it's about 11,000 gold from those, plus everything else. There's easily about 45,000 gold worth of materials here. I'm not even like including the gem boxes and the food boxes, so 45,000 gold for $20, and that's, you know, this is going to be different depending on what server you're on. I would say that it is pretty good value, but it's not a must-have. Again, the best sort of stuff you can get is the free track up here. You know, you do get some transmog tokens, you do get a chromatic seal, you do get the artifacts, and then of course there's all the skins and stuff as well. So I can't really be the one to decide for you guys, you know, how much your money is worth. You guys can make your own call there, but I do want to let you know that there is approximately somewhere in the range of about 45 to 50,000 gold worth of materials down at the bottom track here. It is going to be something that will kickstart your journey, especially if you're a fresh level 65 player. But is it going to give you any sort of benefits that would be insurmountable to somebody who didn't pay for the season pass? No, I really don't think so. Alright, so with the value of the season pass and the is it worth it out of the way, now let's talk about whether you have the free track or the premium track, how you can level it up. Because again, this is a pretty short season. We only have 39 days left. By the time this video goes out, it's probably going to be getting closer to a month. It depends when you're watching it. I do think the tips that we're going to give here will probably be relevant quite a long time into the future. So if you're watching this in Season 7, or Season 8, Season 9, generally all of the season passes that we've seen so far have 2 different ways to level them up. So you've got the journey, and this one's pretty straightforward. You basically complete missions in the chapter, so the only one I've got left to do is close corrupted breaches. But once you finish a certain number of missions in the chapter, so in this case it was 4, then you can claim the reward. You get a bonus reward here, and you can move on to Chapter 2. And you don't need to purchase the Season Pass in order to do this. This is available for free. And then with Chapter 2, we have to do 5 objectives. So you pick the 5 easiest ones here. You get some Dark Matter. You move on to Chapter 3, and then Chapter 4, and then Chapter 5. So I've still got to do, I think it's like 3 more here. How many have I done? I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to do 1 more actually, so I just pick 1 more, and then I would get a Prismatic Scarab, which is a fairly good crafting material. And then ultimately you have the challenges, and these are just like super long-term stretch goals as well. But that is a way to get some XP, but it's not going to fully level up your Season Pass, and I don't think it's necessarily where your focus should be. Instead, if you do want to level up the Season Pass, I would focus on the activity card. So the way this works, if we take a look at the left here, you have a bunch of objectives, and they correlate to these icons on the activity card or the stamp card, whatever you want to call it. So I've actually done one here. I crafted a gypsum orb, and that lets me stamp either of these bottles over here. So we can do this one or this one. So I'm going to do the top one. Typically, I wouldn't really stress too much as to whether you're choosing the right stamp or not. And if we had another bottle somewhere, we'd also be able to choose that one. So yeah, the icons represent which sort of stamps you can fill in. Now, again, my approach here is just to take the easiest option. So whatever seems easy to you is what I would go for. So in my opinion, kill corrupted. That's pretty straightforward. Salvaging tier 5 items, if you're doing sort of chest runs or anything like that, those are pretty easy to come by. What else do we have here? I think we could kill enemies in Murkgard. Did I see that one? Yeah, kill enemies in Murkgard, because there are corrupted enemies in Murkgard, so we can do a 2-for-1 there. And basically, what you want to be looking to do is pick about 6 objectives. So for me, it would only be 5, because I've got 1 over here. So I need to pick another 5 objectives for a total of 6. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and let's see, 4 with the kill lost. And then I need to pick 1 more. Probably gather tier 5 resource nodes. But if you don't see anything that you like here, if you don't think there's anything easy to do, in fact, just gather resources. That's probably a bit easier than gather tier 5. We'll see which one happens first. But if you don't like anything you see on here, you can just hit reroll. The first one's free, and then after that, it's a little bit of Azoth. But as you guys have probably noticed, if you've been playing the game for a little while now, Azoth is basically an infinite resource. It's very hard to get rid of it, so I wouldn't really worry if you're burning your Azoth. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do these objectives, and then I'll show you sort of part 2 of how to finish off the card and why it's particularly valuable to pick 6 objectives. So I ended up doing a different set of objectives from what we set out, but either way, we do have our 5 stamps to complete now. Kill corrupted, heal damage, salvage tier 5 items. By the way, the healing damage just counts as potions and lifesteal and stuff as well, so you don't have to use a life staff for that one, which is kind of interesting. Now, when it comes to selecting which blue stamps you fill in, I would advise to not complete a row if possible, and I'll show you why in a second. So let's take our kill corrupted, and then we have our, which one is the leaf symbol? It's heal damage. Then we have kill enemies in Murkgard. We'll use this one here. And then after that, we have our close major breaches. earn Azot Salt by killing players. And then finally, we have salvage tier 5 items. Now, you might be thinking, well, Baggins, how does that help me? We haven't finished any rows. We haven't done anything at all here. Well, the answer is the wild stamp system. So once you get your card to, on average, it's going to be about 6 blue stamps, provided they're not all up in the top corner or something like that. If there's a fairly even distribution of them, you can use the wild stamp system and finish off the rest of the card. And that is going to be one of the best ways to earn experience, because every time you finish a line, you get 250 XP, and each individual stamp is also 50 XP as well. So it ends up being quite a lot of experience that we get here, and I'm going to demonstrate that now. So again, if we just use a wild stamp here, for example, you see we go down to 2 out of 3. However, we're going to put a stamp up here, and we're going to stay at 2 out of 3, as you can see, and that's because whenever you complete a row, you get a stamp back. So you can use this trick effectively to use the stamp to finish a row, but then it doesn't actually consume the stamp. So we do another one there. And then after here, I think we can go along here, and we're going to go back to 2 out of 3 because we complete 2 rows there. And then here we complete another row. And as you can see, the XP starts flowing in pretty fast when you do this. And then we go down here, get another row, and then by the time we finish it, we're back out to 3 of 3. And the card is finished, and we move on to the next one. And then once we get the new card, it's simply going to be another case of choosing 6 easy activities. So there we go, we got Kill Corrupted again, Close Minor Breaches. We could get a 2 for 1 there, because a Minor Breach, that's just the little ones. You can do these on your own, especially the lower level ones. If I was just to go choose this level 45 Infested Grove, I could definitely do it level 65 pretty easily. So we could get 2 right there. So Close Minor Breaches, Kill Corrupted. Complete a quest, that's pretty straightforward. Just do a faction mission. Again, we've got Gather Resources, kill enemies with 2-handed melee weapons. So if we kill some corrupted at a corrupted breach with a great sword or something like that, then we can get like a 3 for 1 at the same time. And if we had a faction mission to close a corrupted breach, we could get a 4 for 1. So you guys can see how very quickly you just pick the easiest objectives. Again, if you don't like any, you can re-roll. And that will get you your 6 blue stamps, and then you can finish the rest with the wild stamp system. So in my opinion, that's one of the most straightforward and easy ways to level up the season pass. And I believe there are also a journey challenge or challenges related to completing a certain number of activity cards as well. I think it's somewhere in here, so you kind of get another 2 for 1. Maybe I made it up. Oh no, here it is. Complete 3 activity cards. And then I think chapter 2, yeah, complete 10 activity cards. So that is the card or bingo system. Hopefully that was pretty straightforward. You guys were able to take that one in. And I think that pretty much does it, you know. The season pass, like I say, it isn't a must purchase, but it is definitely something that you want to fully finish before the end of the season. So we have about 5 weeks left, and then there's going to be a new one for season 7. And we'll reevaluate that. We'll have another video coming out for the season 7 season pass. If you guys want to see that, you can let me know. But yeah, typically I think we'll take a look at every season pass rewards going forward and make the call. I don't think the skins are particularly that good looking in the season pass, but the crafting material is definitely worth it. And as I say, if nothing else, you do want to level it up to get all the stuff on the free track, like the gold and the gypsum orbs. Those are very useful. So if you guys think I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. If there's any other wisdom you want to impart to your fellow New World Aeternum players, by all means, let them know. Also, one thing that I would ask from you guys, if there's any questions you have regarding the game, let me know in the comments down below. I'm looking for new video ideas. I want to know what you guys are struggling with on the game, or if there's some builds or a particular combination of weapons or dungeons, just anything in New World Aeternum that you feel like isn't being covered on YouTube, or you'd like to see more from this channel in that particular regard. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, a quick word from the sponsor again, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.